A very good morning, everyone, and welcome back to KSI Morning Brief. This is Mashood, and joining with me today is Anjana to take you through the latest on world markets and news. To begin with, global markets. The Nasdaq Composite Index traded above 10,000 for the first time ever Tuesday, before slightly trimming some gains as tech stocks continue to rally as investors bet on their strength amid the economic reopening. Shares of Apple peaked nearly 4% to a record high on reports that the company will use its own processors in its Mac computers. Amazon shares also gained nearly 3% Tuesday to an all-time high. United Airlines and Delta Airlines each dropped more than 7.5%. Cruise lines Carnival and Royal Caribbean declined 7.5% and 10.1% respectively. Retail-related trades Gap and Simon Property Group dropped as well. The Federal Reserve will announce its interest rate policy decision today. The Fed isn't expected to take any serious action. However, investors will focus on the health of the economy as it reopens after the pandemic. Looking at Europe, European stocks dropped on Tuesday as traders looked for a new catalyst after the big rally from the depths of March. The FTSE 100 was down by 2.11%, the DAX was down by 1.57%, and the CSE 40 was down by 1.55%. Asian stocks extended their winning streak for the ninth consecutive session on Tuesday, and oil prices rose as the lifting of lockdowns in many countries fed investors' hopes of a relatively quick global economic recovery. Nikkei 225 in Japan closed 0.38% lower. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index advanced 1.88% as of its final hour of trading. Mainland Chinese stocks edged higher on the day, with the Shanghai Composite up by 0.62%. The moves regionally came after S&P 500 erased its losses and entered the positive territory for the year. Markets have seen recent positive momentum as hopes rise of an economic recovery from the pandemic. Still, the World Bank said on Monday that it forecasts the global economy to shrink by 5.2%, representing the deepest recession since the Second World War. Next, on European markets, there are three key issues on the proposed €750 billion stimulus plan the EU will need to overcome before it activates. The 27 EU leaders are yet to agree on the details of the stimulus plan before it is implemented, and questions up for the debate include how much to borrow, what to fund, and how to oversee it. The European Commission has never tracked financial markets on such a large scale before. Austria is one of the EU countries reluctant to accept the European Commission's proposal to tap financial markets to support the 27 economies in the COVID crisis. Next, on global news, we have Angela to bring you some latest updates.
Thank you, Mashood. Now looking at global news, a new hiring initiative at Adidas is aiming to increase the representation of people of color in its North American workforce. The company plans to fill a minimum of 30% of new positions with Black and Latin people. And according to the latest research carried out in the US, 9 out of 10 Americans believe that the coronavirus pandemic presents an opportunity for companies and firms to hit the reset button and do right by their employees, clients, communities, and the planet. More news from the US. Boeing jet deliveries sink to just 4 in May. The US plane maker said it handed over just 4 planes in the month of May, down from the 6 it delivered in April. Its lowest total for the month in 6 decades, and about 87% fewer than it delivered to customers at the same time a year ago. Looking at Europe, France has pledged nearly $17 billion to support Airbus, Air France, and its wider aviation industry, saying Europe cannot fall behind China and the United States in the global aerospace race as a result of the pandemic. That's it from global news. Let's look at the latest COVID-19 updates. The total cases around the world is at 7.3 million, while death is at 413,000. 627. Total recoveries are 3.6 million. And looking at Sri Lanka, 1,859 total cases have been reported with 11 deaths, and the total recoveries are at 1,057. Looking at the latest updates on vaccine development, the Imperial College aims to develop a vaccine that is cheaper and easier to manufacture and is forming a partnership to sell it in low-income countries and Britain. Scientists, non-profit groups, and public health experts urge that any successful vaccine to combat the pandemic be distributed at the lowest possible cost and on the basis of need rather than profit. Meanwhile, in India, India reports a record number of coronavirus infection in a single day. The country's health infrastructure faces a major crisis since there is a lack of hospital beds. India's two largest cities, the capital New Delhi and financial hub Mumbai, have reported an alarming shortage of space in hospital intensive care units and general wards. Turkey lifts lockdown for senior minors. Turkey's president has said Turkey is lifting stay-at-home orders for people aged over 65 and for minors as part of a further easing of restrictions. So that's it from KSI Morning Brief. We'll be joining you again tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Thank you.